Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Houston Astros beat the Baltimore Orioles 6-0. Great win for the Astros as they pick up the shutout. Very impressive game for the Astros. I mean, they were able to get a good amount of hits. At 8 hits, also scored 6 runs. Arrighetti had a very, very promising outing, going 6 innings. And a very amazing debut for the new outfielder, Ben Gamel, who was claimed just 2 days ago off of waivers from the New York Mets. Then just a couple hours ago was activated to the roster and was put in today's lineup at the 6th spot. And he had a very impressive Houston Astros debut, 2 for 3 with 2 RBI singles and a walk as well. You couldn't ask for a better Houston Astros debut, and especially when he's playing a position where the Astros, since Kyle Tucker has been injured, it's been a very, very, very frustrating struggle for the Astros at the right field position. At times, yes, have they had Mauricio Dubon play in right field, and even though he's been pretty good recently. If you look at, up until like the last week or so or last 10 days, Dubon was struggling offensively. He's been picking it up recently, Dubon. He's been a lot better today, not so much. Went 0 for 4, but Dubon recently in the last, I bet you can probably say last 10 days, maybe last 7 or 8 or 9 games. Dubon has been amazing, but he was struggling for a while. Chas McCormick has been terrible. Trey Cabbage has been a guy they put in right field as well. He's been really bad. Obviously, Joey Loperfido was an option for the Astros in right field, but if you look at it, before he was traded, he was really struggling for the Astros in his last 7 or last 10 games before he got traded to the Blue Jays when the Astros made that Kikuchi trade. So there have been a lot of struggles at right field. So for the Astros to pick somebody up and Ben Gamel, and for him in his first game to have a performance like this against a great team in Baltimore, and a team that had their best pitcher on the mound today in Corbin Burnes, and Ben Gamel, who's been an all right hitter in this last couple in the last couple years, was able to get 2 base hit knocks off of Corbin Burnes to bring in 2 runs. So I think you couldn't ask for a better debut for Ben Gamel as a Houston Astro. But yeah, 6-0 is the final score. 8 hits for the Astros, 3 for the Orioles. I think the impressive thing is, look, yesterday in the 4-1 loss against the Boston Red Sox, it's not that the Astros weren't able to do anything offensively. They were getting hits. 8 hits on 1 run. Today, it's a completely different thing. 8 hits, the same amount of hits as yesterday, and you score 6 runs. So today, the difference was the Astros were able to bring in runs when they had the opportunities to bring runs, and that just wasn't the case yesterday. It wasn't like one of those games where you only score 1 run and the hits are just not coming. The Astros had 8 hits yesterday. They were hitting the ball good. They just couldn't bring in any runs. 1 error in this game, and that goes to Baltimore, the pitcher Corbin Burnes, which we will get to in just a minute. The win goes to Spencer Arrighetti, another really good outing for the rookie. 6-11 now, 6 innings. He got 3 hits, 0 runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Couldn't ask for a better outing for Spencer Arrighetti. I was a little bit doubtful about him. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he's in his last 3 or 4, maybe even 5 starts, he's been fantastic. His last outing was not as good as he's been doing recently. I think his last outing was in Tampa Bay, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, his last outing was at home against the White Sox, and he really struggled against the White Sox. Luis Robert Jr. was able to do a lot of damage on Spencer Arrighetti, and that really was the only reason he struggled on last Friday against the White Sox. And it wasn't as good as his previous 2 starts for the Astros against Boston, where he had 13 strikeouts, and then the outing before was against the Tampa Bay Rays with 12 strikeouts and 6 innings. So his last 2 outings before the previous one, against Chicago and Houston, were just very good for the Astros. And then he really struggled in Houston against the White Sox, mainly against Luis Robert Jr., and today, that was totally different. 6 innings, 3 hits, giving up 0 runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. And Arrighetti, he's had some good road outings. A couple weeks ago in Boston, he was fantastic. He's had a couple other solid, road outings as well. But the main struggle for him this year as a rookie has been on the road. If you look at home, the stats are completely different at home than they are on the road. Him playing on the road this year, and the big reason is because he's a rookie pitcher. That's been. It's been a struggle, but recently he's been able to pitch better on the road. So I was a little bit in doubt for him today going up against a great lineup like Baltimore, and also, him being kind of back and forth on the road. Like recently we've been seeing is like he'll have one good out on the road and then the next one's not so good. But it was a good outing. It really was. I wasn't expecting a really bad outing for Spencer tonight. I just thought it was going to be an okay outing for him, but not what we saw. 6 innings, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, no runs given up, only 1 walk. And I thought the impressive part was he was able to go out there and get 6 strikeouts. The Orioles are a team that do not strike out often, so for him to go get 6 strikeouts in 6 innings, that's pretty good for a team that does, facing a team that doesn't strike out a lot. Corbin Burnes does get the loss. He's 12-6 on the year now. He pitched 5 2/3, gave 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 strikeouts. I didn't expect him to get a lot of strikeouts tonight against the Astros lineup, another team that doesn't really strike out a lot. He gave it 2 walks. Scoring summary, Yordan Alvarez would have a 4th inning RBI single to right. Altuve scored. It's 1-0. And then Ben Gamel with an RBI single to center. Yanner Diaz scores and Caratini to third. It's 2-0. So that was the first RBI single for Ben Gamel. And then the 6th inning, Ben Gamel with a RBI single to right. Alvarez scored. Caratini to third, and it's 3-0. And then in the 6th inning, Jake Myers reached on a bunt single to pitcher. Gamel to second. Caratini scored on throwing error by pitcher Burnes, and Gamel to third. Now, Jake still did get the RBI for that, and he gets a hit. So that was it for Jake Myers' day today. Now I want to, as there's one more scoring to go over. Shea Whitcomb in the 6th inning would then hit a single to center. Gamel and Myers would score. So it was a big 6th inning. The Astros scored 4 runs in the 6th inning. They scored 2 in the 4th and 4 in the 6th. All right, Astros hitting today. Altuve, after getting the day off, went 0 for 4 today. He did score a run because he had a 4th inning walk, and Yordan Alvarez brought him in. That was it for Altuve. Bregman was the DH again for back-to-back games, and he was 1 for 4. He had a 9th inning walk and a 6th inning single to left. Not a bad day for Breggy. Yordan Alvarez went 1 for 5 today. 1 for 5 day with an RBI single. Single to right that scored Altuve. And that was it for Yordan. Chas McCormick would come in late in the game for him to play, defensive use, playing left field. I don't mind that. Look, I don't want to see Chas McCormick in the games, as a starter, and he's terrible at bat. But I don't mind the Astros putting him in a late game situation in the area of the 7th to 9th inning when there's a good chance he's not going to get at bat, and you put him in defensively instead of having Yordan on there. Yordan out there. Right now, with Bregman being the DH, Yordan in the last 2 games has not been at DH, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what the Astros do with that, because I don't know how long the Astros want to wait until they have Bregman back at third. So if you continue to have Bregman at DH, that's Yordan, continuing to be at left field. I know it's only 2 games like that, but he's been playing in left field a lot more recently, and eventually if Bregman just stays at the DH, Yordan's just going to be playing left field. So in a late game situation where the Astros have a lead like they did in this game, I don't mind the Astros putting him in the 8th or 9th inning defensively, and when he's not going to get at bat. I actually like that move right there by the Astros. And Chas McCormick does have more speed than Yordan, in the outfield. So that is one thing to think about. Yanner Diaz went 1 for 4 today. He did score 1 run as well, single to left in the 6th inning, a single to left, Alvarez to second, and he did score a run in that inning. He scored a run when, he scored a run when Gamel hit the 4th inning RBI single in the 4th inning. In the 4th inning, he got on base because he had a fielder's choice. All right, Caratini was the catcher today with Yanner Diaz being at first base, and Caratini had a 4th inning single to right, which was his only hit, so another 1 for 4 day. Ben Gamel, 2 for 3. He was the only hitter in this lineup today that had multiple hits, so that's kind of impressive, and reached base 3 times. Single to center for an RBI in his second at-bat. His first at-bat, he struck out swinging. Second at-bat was a single to center for an RBI that scored Diaz. Sixth inning was a single to right that scored Alvarez. And the eighth inning was a walk. So, really good things. Jake Myers went 1 for 2 today with scoring 1 run. Look, I liked what I saw from Jake Myers today. Third inning walk. Fourth inning line out. He had an RBI in the sixth inning with a bunt single. And then in the eighth inning, he reached base getting hit by pitch. Shea Whitcomb was 1 for 4 today. He had 2 RBIs with his 2 RBI single, which was in the sixth inning. But he did ground into double play in the third inning, which is, it is what it is. Dubon went 0 for 4 today. He grounded out twice and struck out once. But I want to mention that Dubon's been playing really good in the last week or so. It's about a little bit over a week, and he went 2 for 4 or 2 for 3 yesterday. So Dubon's been playing really good recently. So it's just, it's his first off day in a couple days. Spencer Arrighetti, I already mentioned what Spencer Arrighetti did today with 6 innings of work, but Sean Dubin was in relief for him today. Pitched 2 innings, gave out 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. And Caleb Ferguson would close out the ninth. Does give up a walk, I believe, to Austin Slater. Yeah, to Austin Slater. And then, it was after that. It was all perfect for Caleb Ferguson, and he gets the 3 outs nicely. So yeah, good outing for the Astros. Great win. Also want to note that look, the bottom of this lineup was great today, and look at a lot of times this year, the 6 through 9 hitters don't show up for the Astros, but that was not the case today. 2 for 3 for Ben Gamel, the 6th hitter. 1 for 2 for Jake Myers, who reached 3 times. Same thing for Ben Gamel. The only 2 guys in the lineup to reach base 3 times today. Shea Whitcomb went 1 for 4, 2 RBIs. Dubon, yes, was 0 for 4, but if you look at the lineup, in total, the bottom of the lineup today in this game for the Astros, they were, I believe, 4 for 13. 4 for 13 from the bottom of the lineup, batters 6 through 9, with 5 of the 6 RBIs, scored 2 of the 6 runs, and had 4 of the 8 hits. So I don't think you could be very disappointed with the 6 through 9 hitters today for the Houston Astros. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros win in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.